Well, I'm joined now by Avery Friedman, civil rights attorney, to take a closer look at the letter of the law here. Avery, thanks for joining us here on Newsroom. I want to put this into context. If a couple gets married in New York, say, then crosses into another state, is the marriage still valid?
No. And that's actually the big question, Suzanne, because while New York did pass its law, and there were many that were married this weekend, 44 other states do not have same-sex marriage laws. So in the example that you used, if someone gets married or got married in New York this weekend and went to, let's say, Wyoming for their honeymoon, and let's say there was an accident, well, if one is in the hospital, that hospital is not going to recognize, most likely, the fact that the same-sex person that married the injured person is a husband or wife. Therefore, it's of limited value, at least in terms of one's freedom to get care or be protected as if they're a spouse in a male-female marriage.
So is there any federal law that would protect that same-sex marriage?
Absolutely not. Actually, you know what's interesting? That's exactly the point. Under Article 4 of our Constitution, if New York passes a law, every other state is obligated to accept it. Well, if that were the end of the story, then that wouldn't be a problem. But in 1995, the Defense of Marriage, so-called Defense of Marriage law, was passed. And it said that the Constitution is restricted, meaning if you're Wyoming or Idaho, you don't have to recognize New York's law. So what it really means is that law essentially 15 years ago or 16 years ago invalidates the Constitution. Many say, Suzanne, that the Defense of Marriage law is therefore unconstitutional because it interferes with that right guaranteed under the Constitution.
And Avery, just to speak a bit about the New York law in particular, does it compel any priest, a minister, or clergy to perform a same-sex marriage ceremony, or is this just government officials?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question, because a lot of people think that, geez, they're heading over to church or heading over to some house of worship. The law does not compel a member of the clergy to perform a marriage. You can get married at City Hall or by a government official, but it would violate the First Amendment freedom of religion for those clergy who don't believe in same-sex marriage. All in all, New York did a correct job in balancing freedom of religion and freedom of expression in terms of personal relationships.
All right, Avery Friedman, thank you very much, Avery. Appreciate it.